Joining us on the podcast once again today is a 2021 U.S. Open finalist and someone participating in this week's Madison Keys Court of Dreams celebration of tennis event. Welcome back to the podcast, Caty McNally. Caty, how are you doing today?
I'm good. Thank you for having me. It's been a while since I've been on, so it's good to be back talking to you guys.
Yeah, some things have happened since we last spoke, and so it's always great to get that chance to catch up with you, and obviously looking forward to seeing you in Iowa in a couple of days. And I think that's where we have to start. When you get the call to participate in an event like this, what was your response?
For sure, yes. I mean, I wasn't 100% sure what my schedule was going to be like, but I really wanted to make sure that I could do this event. Not only because I really like Madison. She's been extremely nice to me and has warmed me up for matches when I needed help, and just talked to me about life on tour. And you don't get people like that very often, I feel like. So I've been really lucky to get to know her a little bit better. And I've been training with her down here in Orlando the past couple of days, which has been great. And I think it's for a great cause. And I've never been to Iowa, so I'm interested to see what it's like. I heard there's a lot of cornfields, but again, it's for a great cause. And I know her foundation is big, the Kindness Wins, and I'm all about kindness as well. So I feel like I support that. So I really wanted to be a part of it.
Yeah, no, it's awesome to hear. And that's actually a little surprising. There was never like a girls 10s or 12s event in Iowa that you had to like sneak off to and just play suddenly. So that's always nice. You can knock another state off the list. I've never been to Iowa either, so I'm looking forward to that. And, the opportunity to play some additional grass court tennis. I'm sure you and Madison aren't training on the grass courts now, but obviously you just had a pretty successful run over on the grass courts in Europe. Got to be fun to get some extra grass court tennis in.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited to see how the grass courts are compared to, over in England. I've heard that the guy that does the courts maybe did Wimbledon courts, so maybe they'll be really good. I'm excited, though. I really like playing on grass. I think it suits my game well, and just to play an EXO with Maddie, I think will be really fun.
Yeah, as someone from Michigan, I think Ohio's a giant cornfield. So, it's not too different for you. But, no, it's going to be a unique environment, certainly, and looking forward to that chance to see that match and watch it all play. And I am curious for you, you talk about you weren't sure if it was going to fit into your schedule. Let's talk about that schedule of late. You fly over to Europe, and, let's start with the grass court success. Able to reach your first singles quarterfinal of the year, get some WTA wins under your belt. How was that month over on the British grass?
Yeah, so I was over in Europe since second week of April. So, tennis is tough. I mean, you're not going to play week, which happened to be the first 5 or 6 weeks. I had some tough draws, some tough losses. So I was pretty down on myself, but I continued to work super hard, put in the work mentally, physically, in the gym and on the court. And then for the grass court, I feel like I always look forward to it. It's only a couple weeks, it's only a couple events. So I try to really hone in on those weeks and try to play my best tennis, try to play my game. And I feel like the surface brings out the best in me.
Mm-hmm. And I want to get back to your game because I watched far too much grass court tennis over the past 5 weeks. And obviously you featured prominently in that watching, but you talk about 2.5 months in Europe. You're 20 years old. How taxing is it 2.5 months away from home, 2.5 months just going hotel room to hotel room? What was that like?
I think that was the longest I've been away from home. I think maybe 2 years ago I was gone for 7 weeks, maybe 6 or 7 weeks. But this time, it's definitely not easy, I would say. I think the most important thing is to have good people around you. If you have a good team around you and a good support system, they try to make it easier on you. And if you're not doing great every week, it's definitely not tough because you're a little bit harder on yourself. But I did enjoy myself. I was definitely happy to be home, spend some time with my dogs, just see my family, some of my friends. So that was really nice.
What are the things you're doing in those 2.5 months? Because obviously there's a lot of time on court, the training sessions, and again, I want to get into that. But what are you doing? 2.5 months in Europe's not the worst thing in the world.
No, I mean, I definitely saw some beautiful places. I went to Istanbul. I've never been there before. I thought that was really cool. I went to the bazaar there. So I've never seen anything like that. So, I mean, I get to do some pretty cool things. I think you have to put it into perspective, though, that, you're playing the sport, you might not be doing great, but we're so lucky we get to travel all around the world and see some amazing places that a lot of people don't really get to ever go see. So that was great. I always try to like go see something as well. In the town or the city that I'm in. We're also in like Czech Republic, which was beautiful. So I went to a bunch of places that I've never been before and tried to immerse myself in their culture as much as possible, I guess, when I wasn't playing.
What was the best food city?
That's a tough question. Wow.
I'm sure like Istanbul was sneaky good.
It was. The meat in Istanbul was like crazy good.
That's I'm jealous.
That.
Yeah. I just feel like I mean, again, you get to Birmingham and you're like,
yeah. England, I'm like, the food here is just, you're not going to be getting the best food. Not gonna lie.
No, I'm sure balancing, again, all of these things while training is half the struggle. And, again, to get back to the on-court stuff, you've made the decision. I know you played a 60K in Prague and an 100K as well, but you've primarily played WTA events, even if that means having to go the hard route and go through qualifying. Yeah. What's led to that decision?
I think it's kind of just the way I am. I think I believe that I'm at that level. And to be honest, I think I play better when I'm playing the bigger events. If I'm at a 60K, I think at times it can be great. It's good for you to go into an event and maybe feel like you should win it. I think you have to deal with that somewhat pressure. I think it can be a good thing. But for myself, I just always am trying to put myself in a good position to play against the best players in the world. I mean, that's what I've always wanted to do since I was a little girl, is play against the top players. So, and I think it's kind of showed through my results. I mean, qualifying for some WTAs and, getting through qualifying, you feel a little bit more comfortable on the courts. You have a little bit more rhythm than other people. So, I mean, whenever I play a qualifier, it's always going to be pretty tough because they're more used to the conditions. Mm-hmm. They have some matches under their belt.
Mm-hmm. And you talked about the word confidence. You're someone who plays a power style of tennis. You're someone, obviously, you're going to hit the big serve, hit the big forehand, play on your terms. I'm sure it helped to be on a grass court, but what clicked so well over, the 2 weeks, 3 weeks on the grass courts that allow you to, get back in the winner's circle where you belong?
I think it was all mental, honestly. I will not lie. I would say I was struggling a little bit mentally after those couple weeks on the clay. And I mentally decided to just make a change. I was like, Katie, you love this sport, but you're putting yourself in such a difficult position to enjoy yourself. And probably a lot of athletes go through that. And Maddie was also really nice to me after I had a tough loss at the French Open. She reached out to me. And that meant a lot to me to have someone who's been in that position reach out and just be like, you know what, I've been there before. Like you're going to get through it. And so like that meant a lot to me, and just mentally knew like my game's there. Everything's there. I have, people telling me, you're so close, and that definitely can make it a little bit more difficult, but it's just such a mental game. I just kind of like needed to make the switch, just allow myself to play, to be free, to just enjoy myself. And I think that showed kind of those couple weeks when I was playing.
Yeah, I mean, you were hitting the forehand massive. It was really fun to watch, certainly. And, I am curious because it's two schools of thought. And, right now you're a top 15 doubles player in the world. And even during some of those singles struggles, quarterfinals Indian Wells, semifinals Miami, round of 16 Roland Garros.
Yeah.
Are they two different schools of thoughts? Like, because it's working on the doubles court still, right? So I'm curious, does that confidence bleed into singles? How do you approach the two things?
Yeah, I think, again, I'm lucky that I have, good people around me, and we all have similar thoughts. I think, some people might say, oh no, like no more doubles, like only focus on singles. And, I think I'm I probably made that mistake when I went over to Europe in the beginning, is I only played singles. And for me, I just need to get out on a match court, whether it's singles, doubles. I just need to get out there, play. At the end of the day, my team's like, the lines are a little, you play a little bit more court. At the end of the day, you're still getting the serves, you're getting the returns, I've played some doubles matches where I was so nervous, like big moments, and you can't replicate those on a practice court. You can try, you can be like, right now you're serving down, love 40, like, what are you going to do? But you can't replicate that pressure that you feel in a doubles match. And I have so much fun out on the doubles court. I don't know why I necessarily would take it away. And every time I do well in doubles, I feel like the singles follows as well, because the confidence kind of just goes from the doubles into the singles. I feel a little bit more confident in my game.
Yeah, it translates. There's no doubt about that. And for you, from a scheduling perspective, I assume singles would be the scheduling focus, right? Like if it's go play City Open doubles versus playing in 100K that week, it might be the singles would be the preference.
Yeah, definitely. But again, I think that I can get into like qualities of these events. Obviously, my singles ranking isn't where I really want it to be, but again, it's just a number, and more worried just about my game. But yeah, I would say I'd maybe go, honestly, I might go and just be like, I think I'm going to get into qualities of singles. Like I'm going to go play, but I'm going to go play both, because I feel like I've learned that mistake of maybe not going to play the bigger event. And you look at the list and it's like, well, the list dropped like a crazy amount. I could have easily gotten in. So yeah, I guess every situation would be different.
Yeah. And it doesn't help when you never know what the rankings rules are going to be. Do I get to keep points here? Yeah. Am I actually getting points there? And so, with that said, last two questions for you, because obviously I'm going to save some of my questions for when I see you in Iowa. You've been able to be on tour now for a full year and a half. What are the things you've picked up in that first year? Do you train differently? Are there different approaches? What's that first year been like for you?
Yeah, so the first year on tour, no one really knows who you are. So you can kind of go out swinging, going for everything. No one really knows how to play you. I would say, the second and third year, people start to get to know who you are. They kind of understand how you like to play and, what your game is more. So from like the tennis perspective, that's kind of a change I saw. But then for me personally, I think I've just gotten better at figuring out what I like to do, on the road, making sure I get to go see places, just so I can keep my mental health at like a good place. Because you don't just want to be locked up in your hotel room after every match and just being really hard on yourself. And then just, it's lonely. I mean, you have your coach and your support team, but again, you're missing your friends, you're missing from being home, my dogs, for example. So I think it took some time to get used to like being okay, being by myself. But over time and with the years I've been, the weeks and now years that I've been traveling a lot, I've gotten a lot better at that.
Yeah. And with that in mind, we get to see you this week in Iowa. And again, that coverage is going to be on our Cracked Racquets YouTube channel. Thursday, Friday, you'll get to see Madison, Katy, and the whole affair that's going down at the All Iowa Lawn Tennis Club. After that, hard court summer coming up. What does the schedule look like for you the next few weeks and months?
Yeah, so I'll start up in Washington. So I'll go to Washington. Week after that is Concord, which is a 125. Cincinnati, of course.
Yeah.
And then depending on, hopefully I'm doing really well in those events. Maybe I won't need to go to Cleveland and play, but Cleveland's always an option. And then US Open. So it's a pretty packed summer, but I'm looking forward to it. I feel like I'm putting in the work, and as long as my mind's in a good place, I think I can play some great tennis.
It's awesome to hear. If you need an extra 0.1% of a reason to go to Cleveland, I will be there all week long as the tournament MC. So again, like if it's like, should we go? It's like, all right, fine, let's go. Again, that's that final push over the finish line. But obviously, Katy, congratulations on your success in Europe and obviously throughout the course of your pro career to date. Very much looking forward to getting the chance to hang out in Iowa and
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, and enjoy that 6:30 flight. Looking forward to seeing you there.
Sounds good. All right, thank you so much.